morning, Katya. How are you today?
Thank you.
Good. So I have the results. I've been able to take everything that you've put into my plate for the last 5 days. And so I just want to briefly kind of go over everything with you.
Okay.
So I just want, the whole point of this is for you to understand, the effects of diet on dental and oral health and dental decay and periodontal disease. I'm sure you know and you've grew up, hearing that certain foods are good for you and good for your teeth. For example, dairy products provide calcium and vitamin D for strengthening the teeth and bones, and different foods offer different vitamins that help you stay healthy. And the important thing is to remember how all these foods are affecting your teeth. And one thing that I think is important to bring to your attention is fermentable carbohydrates, which are basically sugars, and bacterial plaque, and the relationship between the two and how that affects dental decay. So basically, anytime you're eating a fermentable carb, those acids are remaining in your teeth for 20 minutes. And so if you're frequently snacking on these foods and these fermentable carbs and adding 20 minutes of acids in your teeth every day, then you might start having problems. As far as periodontal disease, good nutrition promotes maintenance of periodontal tissues. It promotes immunity and also resistance to infection, which in turn means that you're basically being able to keep your teeth healthy for as long as possible. Okay, so now I just want to go over essentially what your goals were and how much of it you achieved. So let's start out with milk and things in the dairy family. So you were advised to eat 3 cups of milk. Your daily recommendation was 3 cups of milk, and on average for the last 5 days you only consumed or fulfilled 1 cup and a quarter, which is significantly below what you should be consuming. So you want to keep that in mind. Maybe try to incorporate more yogurt to your diet, and incorporate drinking more milk. Is yogurt something that you like, or?
Yeah, I like more yogurt than milk itself. Yeah.
Okay. And so what about smoothies? Maybe that's something that you can, so that you can incorporate the milk.
Yeah, now that the weather's getting better, I think it'll be easier to consume this kind of drink.
Smoothies?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. That's good to keep in mind. So milk is important, a lot of calcium, and the strength of your teeth, so, and the overall health of your bones. So definitely important to keep that in mind, and keep in mind that you've been very low compared to what you should be. So try to incorporate, or cheeses, you can snack on cheeses.
Yeah, I love cheese.
And so, good. So that's something that you can start thinking about and incorporating more. And then we have meats and beans, so your proteins. And you should have had consumed 5 ounces. And actually, this is probably the one thing that you hit your target. So my plate recommended 5 ounces, and you did consume all 5 ounces. So that's great. So as far as that goes, keep doing what you're doing. Don't change anything. Make sure you're eating lean meats. Try to avoid the fatty meats, and it didn't look. You looked pretty, like you knew what you were doing as far as that. Fishes and beans and stuff like that. So good job.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe think in terms of beans more so than just meats. Try to incorporate more beans, edamame, things of that nature as well. And then we have fruits. So my plate recommended 1.5 cups, and on average, you only achieved 1 cup of fruits.
Yeah.
So, which isn't too bad. But again, the whole point of this is just kind of to bring to your attention where you're lacking and where you could improve. And so as far as fruits, maybe think about fruits that you can snack on, or fruits that you can add to your breakfast, or even what we talked about, smoothies, making fruit smoothies.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, especially now with the summer, I think it's easier too with the berries and when all those fruits come into season. So, okay, so keep that in mind. And then vegetables. My plate recommended 2 cups, and you only had 1 cup, so you only fulfilled half of that.
Yeah, I know.
So
sometimes don't have time to eat. No.
Yeah, which is understandable. But maybe think of quick snacks. Maybe try thinking about eating raw vegetables, raw carrots, broccoli, and using that also as a form as something to snack on. And as far as incorporating that to your dinners and stuff like that, maybe a quicker route would be just a quickly steamed vegetable, where you don't have to waste so much time cooking it fully. Maybe a quick steam is an option for you to consider, but keep in mind a lot of the essential vitamins and nutrients are coming from your vegetables and your green leafy foods as well. So even if you can think about possibly incorporating it into a salad, a quick salad that you can make, and again with these raw vegetables. Okay. So grains, you should be consuming 5 ounces, and on average you had 1.5 ounces. So that's significantly low. So let's talk about that. What is it that you think, as far as grains, what do you think you could do differently? And excuse me, let me just grab your report. Here we go.
Yeah, I don't know what else I can do. Because I am a full-time student, and sometimes I really don't have time to eat much.
Right.
And then I try my best.
I've been there. Yeah, it's hard, and I understand. We've all been there. So you've got some things down, but I see that you tend to incorporate rice with your dinners. So start thinking about whole wheat rice, or brown rice rather, as opposed to white rice. So the benefits of whole grain rice versus white rice is significantly different. So think of that, or for breakfast, think about incorporating whole wheat breads, and that's something that's quick. And I noticed usually for breakfast is when you consume the least amount of food, and I imagine it's because you're trying to run out of the house.
Yes, that's right.
So think about something that would be quick, maybe a quick toast some whole grain bread real quick, and just have it on the go with your coffee. That's something to consider. And again, thinking about maximizing time, you could probably incorporate whole grain breads to your lunch or your snack, whether it's in with a tuna sandwich or with turkey and cheese. And
yeah, I can try it. I can try to optimize my routine and prepare my lunch in advance. yeah, I can do this and incorporate some more.
Yeah, absolutely. So keep that in mind. I think that's important to keep in mind because it was definitely out of all the food groups, grains was the one food group where you were lacking significantly. Okay, again, the recommendation was 5 and you had 1.5. So again, think about breakfast, think about snacks, and it doesn't have to be something that's time consuming. It could be something quick. And for dinners, I noticed too, you often, like I said, you have rice and you do like your pasta. And so again, try to maximize that and make sure you're having, whole wheat pasta as opposed to just regular white pasta. So think about the times that you are eating it. Try to make sure you're getting the most out of it. Okay. And then finally, fats and oils.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you didn't do as well with that. Mm-hmm. And I know that, when we talk about oils, it's always kind of a tricky subject because right off, I think in general, people are scared of fats and oils.
Yes, that's right.
But again, like we were talking about grains, if you start thinking about the good fats, and incorporating the good fats into your diet, you'll maximize that. So my plate recommended 5 teaspoons, and you only had 1 teaspoon. So I would suggest, do you like nuts?
Yes, I do.
So nuts are huge, and that's probably something you can be snacking on as well, whether it's almonds or peanuts, whatever the case may be. That's huge, and in your case, it's time efficient. It's a quick snack, and it's good to always have in hand. You can incorporate some olive oil into your salads.
Yeah,
as opposed to salad dressings. So pre-made salad dressings would be the bad fats, the ones you want to stay away from. But extra virgin olive oil is a very, very good substitute for that. And again, in your case, nuts. Nuts would be just a great snack for you to have around. Considering your schedule and the time restrictions that you have on your daily routines.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I think if we can work on that, I think you'll be in good shape, and at the very least start thinking about this because I think it helps too at this point that you have an idea, of what it is that you're consuming and not consuming, and how you meet the expectations. So it's good to bring that into light for you at this point, if nothing else.
Yeah, and that's nice to know what kind of food I have deficiency, so I can try to work on it. And
absolutely, yeah.
And
right, and we don't expect perfection, and I don't expect that you'll wake up tomorrow and just hitting every target, but it's good to have an idea where you're at now and what needs to be improved, and it's definitely helpful to know how you can better. Most importantly, knowing how you can better. So we talked about, snacking and the dairy and the smoothies and the whole wheat grains and stuff like that. Okay?
Okay.
Now, do you have any questions for me?
No.
Great. So, thank you so much, Katya, for cooperating with me and working together on this with me. And I'm sure we'll be seeing improvements. And
I will try my best. I will.
Of course you will. All right, so we'll see you soon.
Okay, thank you.